A country with the same president since before I was born, whose currency is the same value with even more zeros. Our fellow survivors, you might have as well gone for the Ugandan meals. Wait for the banana and coffee money, Manange. This topic was so entertaining. It brought me out of my own self-imposed holiday. You know, I went to Central Meridian. I went to Algeria, then Egypt, then Morocco. Maybe seeing the coast of Libya. Fancy. I wanted to feel respected as a human being, not even as a woman. Enjoy the beauty of the civilized world. That's where I've been all this month. But yes, nimeachana jokes za Central Meridian. I don't get to talk about them, I don't get to deal with them or entertain their opinions. If you have the same skin tone as me, or dangerously darker, you'd rather just avoid it. I had made a Samina After Dark video. I'm sure where to post it and keep the constant regurgitation of content necessary for the short-lived fame I crave. I dug my heels in trying to figure out where I'm going to put that video, and here we are 6 months later. I was staring at a wall all that time in my new home. I had said, come rain, sun, sleet or shine, I am not living close to the capital city in these volatile times. So I decided to go inward. So interior, some people here don't wear shoes. At one time, a middle-aged lady asked me to help her to operate her smartphone. That's how interior I have gone, and I could stand to go further in. Hello, my name is Samina. I make videos of vintage film, animation, you know, the things that are worth watching. Sometimes I do political history and bootleg anthropology like this video. A fellow comrade a while back, a fellow pavement stepper, came to my country, Moldova, the traveling girl, and bamboozled our local women. Bamboozled among other things. As with almost everyone else, I was just shocked by the ease. Sometimes a little knowledge, while dangerous, is good. You have to know the corremans you're dealing with. The more blood in me bubbles and boils when I see some things happening on our soil. Like, please, let it happen anywhere else. The ancestors that fought for our God-given right on this land aren't even gone yet. For us to see a new colonization effort taking place. I personally have never sanguined, which is what I'll call that miscegenation going forward. Maybe in my sleep or in a drug-induced hallucination, I live in a sex tourism town. Eka pause. I have to share what you told me. I live in a sex tourism town. Something I said in a previous video if you are a fan. So it's necessary to finally say that even for my babies and my family members who I care about, who might have asked themselves that. Even though his life is saturated in consanguineous relationships. I'm talking about someone with a grandfather-in-law. And is it a cousin-in-law who's a rock star? As a native of a very Panaju! When in Nani? And nobody knows who you are, so nobody knows that story.
No, see, she watch because she watches it.
It is Zuri, Ashkebo. But As a native of a very metropolitan city, I can say a human being is an animal. First things first. Repetition. Something else from a previous video if you're a fan. Whatever concept of race and relations you might know is from a book at best and visual media at worst. On the same ground, everyone is the same. Some even more based than a public depiction in the media, etc. Others more noble and presented. That is the context of this video. So far, I know it's very confusing. This is a catalogue, my beloved viewers. How to spot and mark your mzungu koko. This is a catalogue, my beloved viewers. How to spot and mark your mzungu koko. I was but no, it is. I was wondering the reasons why I would do this, and then the following things happened. I knew where my beloved country appeared in the sheet state file. There was a correspondence on taking a Kenyan baby back abroad as a pet, since we give them out so easily when we see a lack of melanin. I know you don't know that later. It was then a matter of safety and security for everyone else, with the white third world being open to us now. Then a story broke out of a black American woman who are more important than us. being analyzed by some second-rate Muzungu in our newly central meridianized East African country. And then I remembered, there's actually a life threat with this gaping open of our Moldovan borders. So this, despite being biting, is so necessary for the girls and boys who didn't grow up around all these ethnicities and have to go on what they see in the media. The paid for media. The polished version of things. So I kept So then I came to the conclusion that this isn't just sarcasm, there's a mission. Beyond this, someone had to do it. I am the chosen one. Despite my various isms that will be presented. Oh, wait. I went back home after living in the big city for a while, and it's somehow way more shittier, less civilized, and more crooked somehow. It's the broken windows theory, but with governance. Kama we ni mkora, I'm sure it's been a great couple of years. Your time to shine. Please donate. Help us peasants on the ground. Help lift us. At least one good karmic point for you is good, but I carry such a huge amount of good karma. One karmic point could be like multiplied to 10 good karmic points by just pleasing me. So please donate. My PayPal link is down there. It's shocking to me that I have to be such a huge bitch to get good service here. It was such a beautiful, lazy town. And you'd expect that from where I was from. But somehow, products and services are smoother there. Coming back here to see the rot and the regression, the services are shoddy, the skills are tampered with, the wine is watered down, people intentionally serving garbage, products not reaching same quality or freshness. Having old neighborhood friends telling me about some local chicken and all the other. Being hosts. What is hosting now? Clubbing is not a profession. unless you're a drug dealer or a political scion or any other career criminal. It could be for fresh out of high school adults, still navigating the playground scene in their minds. It hosting is now a bigger, more openly out there culture than it was growing up. There's endless raw material because there's always some skunk that doesn't know the beautiful ones are not yet born. Past a certain age, clubbing makes you haggard as hell. You will look like you're in your late 40s, in your late 20s. And anyone with more than one brain cell knows exactly what you're hosting. Different genetic materials, spirits and microbiomes. These women, among others, are the potential victims of a crotch lick me up on the other. Our forefront, soldiers on the war against sense. Panadu. Let me get my drink. There's a huge locust here on the ground. And no one is conscripting them with hiding the numbers. They're going to the forefront willingly. What shocked people the most was the normal, average, every man, one and mama with a child in each hand. Why holding your pocket like that? I don't know if it was her age or sweet potato shape. Kudhani ni mtu ana uzima na heshima zake. But foolish people do get old, no? They could be a millennial with the Kikuyu build, who knows? That's what I wrote. If majority of the boomers enjoyed extras or smart or sensible, the world would have been more beautiful and livable by now. My choker is choking me. This is a video for the non-metropolitan girls. I don't know if you've realized Moldova has been opened for anyone to come in. Kitambo, there was a different kind of foreigner we had than we do right now. Now we are presented with our fellow weak, struggling economies. Our fellow, everyone looks at us in pity and thus disgust us. Just nil melanin. A very dangerous situation the young, gullible women and men of Moldova have been found in. The men, the poor men that are in the line to get VDs with such exotic names, they sound like Elon Musk baby names. We are about to see more and more shocking things as we open wider and wider. For business, there is a reason why there is an anti-colonial war. And there's a reason why all your heroes were depicted falling. Which picture of the Dan Kimathi do you have in your mind? This is a battle that you may have lost even before you start. But if you end, the sibling institution of the ones benefiting from the saving that they are saving people from can issue warnings. I can also issue a PSA. This isn't necessary. This isn't panda jubeli kidogo. Rimpa pasta mwenye ali. They decided to do an MJ. That's rumba. Because najana hiyo mama sa. I think it's Senegalese. I'm a Congolese. I don't know. I want to say it's one of those, like it's an Afro jazz song. Really inspire your fella. You're a lovely fella. But fella is just soul. Like fella just picked from soul. Like he was there when like James Brown. James Brown and co. Like when you listen to James Brown, you will hear that it's Fela Kuti, like almost word for word. Mwadini, old school things. Really, wouldn't necessarily advise him against the pink ones because, honest truth on the ground, with us being on the bottom of the race world pyramid, they are actually the least racist towards us. White people are not the harbingers and upholders of racism. Argue below. They are good at taking advantage of the systems and running them efficiently. You've got to learn to read the surnames, African man and woman, a very necessary skill in these global African times. Not stage names, not nicknames, actual government names. Western Meridianers, despite the second half of their moniker, are not Europeans. They just didn't have enough sun to be grouped to the rest of us. Our history as peasant farmers, our governance modes, our societal ills and ideals, and mentalities and personalities are almost identical. We are universally united by the tiger blanket. There is a video on the way called African Countries Outside of Africa. Mila, Shvuknir, and Marco have not come from a place where they respect women and children. The way our local manosphere, alpha male, super successful, tough men think, imagine that, but a little less, more dangerous. Their disdain for human life and the ease of damaging creation. Hey, you wrote that.
This one with rice.
As long as my Moldovan girlies don't live with them like they wish, before we see an influx of young African teen barely there, etc., etc. Videos in some sites. Hey, this one with rice. Imagine the misogynistic third world commoner male, but with just a little bit more money and a camera, as you have seen. Don't Meta glasses have a red blinker, by the way? I'm intentionally tech unsavvy, but I feel like those glasses give out that they're recording. A long time ago, like even 10 years ago, there was only one kind of tier of Mzungu Coco that could afford to come in here and set for our standards. But now our fellow comrades are flooding in. For those that missed me, as I said earlier, I'm not sure that I will not be close to any Moldovan city during election season. Relocating takes so much from you. Even on the way here, I was surrounded by Soviets. Shout out to our backpacking tourists. Of course, they were racist. I said hello to Maria or Yulia or whoever I was sitting with, and guess what? I am exactly who I know I am, honey. And I sure as hell wouldn't be going to any Western Meridian country for a holiday. East Africa, why not Ibiza or Turks and Caicos? I'm seeing them everywhere and I'm not happy with the local young hoes and their consanguineous behavior. Respect my thoughts. Taleta magonjwa mpaka zenye hazina jina za Kiswahili. Our health system is already garbage, not from the lack of intelligence and competence. They're just already overwhelmed and underpaid. Which tier should I start with? My audience suggested I start with tier 3, so here we go.